the national picture of whether this means more trouble for UPA. Couple of quick points. Vinod Mehta first. 1 minute. Vinod Mehta.
Oh, Sachin Pilot.
Yeah.
I'm asking if after Rahul's intervention this afternoon accepting personal responsibility, will the Congress stop making a fool of itself, Congress leaders stop making a fool of themselves, committing public harakiri to insulate Rahul Gandhi from the responsibility of the defeat? I think he has been very brave. He has asked, he has said, will that stop this kind of... It's sad and pathetic, Sachin, to watch this kind of thing, because everybody can see through that.
Yeah, good point. A quick couple of points here. 1 minute.
I want to ask Mr. Pilot. Mr. Jaitley said a little while ago that unless the Congress consults us on the possibility of evolving a consensus candidate for president, we will have our united opposition candidate. Does the Congress plan to do that?
Yeah. Would you be forced to consult the BJP now for even a presidential candidate? Sachin Pilot, one more question your way. Navika Kumar, yes. Go on, Ms. Navika.
Mr. Sachin Pilot, the question really is, in 2009 you bucked anti-incumbency, got a second time for the UPA 2, got a mandate of 206. Do you think in these elections, halfway through the UPA 2's regime, you frittered away that opportunity and today you're on the defensive? The initiative is really with the BJP, with the smaller parties. And do you think you will have to reinvent yourself ahead of 2014 general elections?
Okay, I'll start with Navika's question. First of all, I think to say that we've withered away all of our political capital, I think is exaggerated, because we came back with a renewed mandate in 2009. And don't forget, the main principal opposition party, the BJP, has in fact lost number of seats. Whatever they had last time in UP, they have come down in their tally. They've reduced their vote share in Uttarakhand, and in Punjab also their performance is worse than it was last time. So to say that this is the anti-Congress or a pro-BJP mandate across India, is factually incorrect. Second point is about the consultation discussion about having a presidential candidate. I think it's far too soon in the day. We'll have to sit together and work within our own UPA allies and see what sort of a consensus is possible to be evolved. Clearly, everybody likes to have things done consensually, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And lastly, the point about Mr. Gandhi coming out and taking responsibility as the leader of this party's campaign in UP. You can't take the fact away that we all feel disappointed, not dejected, mind you. I feel disappointed in the fact that we were not able to live up to our potential. Now, everyone campaigned there. The General Secretary in charge has taken responsibility, Rita Joshi has taken responsibility, and all of us feel responsible. So it is not about Congress, and I think your words have been quite uncharitable. I will not dwell on what you asked me in particular. But Mr. Gandhi himself, all of us feel responsible. It's a party which has not been able to make a mark. So, I mean, in all humility, I'd like to submit to you that we have not been able to...
I want to get Ravi Shankar Prasad to respond, because we are now talking about a number of things, but let's get the BJP back into the debate. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, you've heard the responses so far of the Congress party. Are you convinced that you will see a change of approach of the Congress party at the central level, in parliament, in governance, in its relationship with its allies and towards the opposition?
Well, Arno, as far as forging a consensus is concerned, the responsibility lies primarily with the ruling party. And before having a consensus with the opposition, they need to have a consensus within the Congress party itself, the warring ministers, and also its own UP allies. That will be a real test how they are going to draw the right lessons. Normally, I never join issues with Sachin Pilot. But if they are not even willing to take the right lessons, in Uttar Pradesh, even the pocket borough of Amethi and Raebareli, the Congress has been decimated in spite of having all the best possible cards being displayed in the election campaign. I am not going to name what I am trying to hint at. Even that, at least draw the right lessons. That is indeed very important. Normally, this Rahul Gandhi campaign, Priyanka ji campaign, her children also were on the podium. Even the brother-in-law and the son-in-law was there. In spite of all this, if in Raebareli and Amethi, since 1971, the pocket borough, the Congress has been decimated, is the Congress going to take the right lessons? In Goa, they have been decimated for the first time. In Uttarakhand, what is happening, you see, is still such a close fight. In Punjab, they have been defeated convincingly. Therefore, Sachin, for heaven's sake, unless you draw the right lessons, that is also a reflection in the way India is governed by the UPA, then you will never take the corrective measures which is required to be taken. It is entirely for you to take. But if you are unwilling to take, then I am sorry to say you are going to suffer greater problem inside and outside the parliament.
Please go ahead and respond. He's responding to you. Sachin is responding to you. Yes,
Mr. Prasad,
go ahead, Sachin, very quickly.
He's a colleague in Parliament. He's older than I am. I respect him, quite a bit. But I think it's a little bit pitiful that he's taking solace in our non-performance as opposed to the fact that they have not been able to perform in UP despite having Uma Bharti ji there and Babu Singh Kushwaha there and all in Yatra, Parivartan Yatra, Advani ji and himself, all of them campaigning. So let's not point fingers at each other. I'm willing to take responsibility. We're willing to accept that we did not do well in UP. We'll take lessons from all of our losses and victories. And please make no mistake, the Congress party in the UP are anything but arrogant. We're happy to listen to criticism, to talk to other people who have opposing views. But in politics, I think it's only fair that we always fight for our own space. If we don't succeed, then we accept the people's mandate. I want to congratulate Akhilesh Yadav and Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav for having a spectacular victory. Now we hope that they can deliver to 20 crore people in UP the kind of government that they deserve. So I mean, in democracy, people's mandate is supreme. It's not about what you and I think. We can always try and make our best endeavor.
No, certainly not.
Ultimately,
but it takes me
when the ballot boxes are open, we have to accept the mandate. And so should you, as should
Today, the focus ultimately the focus will have to be on what you're going to do and whether you change, which takes me to question 8, 9 and 10. Question 8, will the Congress have to reinvent itself ahead of 2014? Question number 9, will the Congress be able to take on the federal front? Will there be a new federal front, a new third front? And has the Congress given the initiative away to the BJP and smaller parties? Reactions from this table. Aarti Jairath, please.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask Sachin Pilot a question which relates to your question also, about reinventing itself. He's a young minister in the government. Isn't it time that younger ministers like him started playing a more active role? Is that the kind of revamping that the Congress needs to do in preparation?
It's a good observation. You cannot expect him to, respond to you by saying yes. He'd be in trouble if he does. Hartosh.
Clearly, the non-performance of this government was one of the reasons that you had these results.
That's true.
After these results, if you don't...
Why do you think so? Why not Rahul Gandhi?
Well, Rahul Gandhi, you can blame UP on Rahul Gandhi, but there is a spread across the country where the performance of the Congress government is being reflected.
You think it's rubbed off?
Yes, it has rubbed off. The question is, after these defeats, not to look at one's own government, one's own party, to re-examine where you stand. Is suicidal for them.
Kumar
referring to 2009 victory and saying that we were elected again and people have confidence and will continue up to 2014. Point is he really serious that nothing has happened between 2009 and 2012? So many elections they have lost. So much of do they have the same credibility and support level as they had in 2009?
This is what they need to do. You talked about reinvention.
Yeah.
They anointed a chief minister. They were decimated. They refused to anoint anyone a leader in UP. They were decimated. The reason is people do not know. Yesterday here someone raised a question. What is brand Rahul? Worst thing that can be said about a brand is when people do not know about it. Why is one general secretary can never be seen in a Times Now studio? He must be seen more. People must know him more.
I have absolutely no problem.
Only one of the two sides is ready. That is the problem. This is where reinvention must start. People must know Rahul more.
Well, if I have no problem, if Rahul Gandhi is willing to come for an interview, I can interview him for at least 12 hours. Here in the studio. There's absolutely no problem with that. Manisha Priya.
The very simple image of the UPA government that has been coming across since the middle of last year has been a government hemmed in by the side from all its allies, warring ministers and ministers going to courts every now and then. So the message that's gone on to a general public
What is the reason for that? Bugging each other.
That was a very weak government.
South block everywhere.
Well, there are so many questions coming in. Therefore, as I wrap up this part of the discussion, I'm just going to ask you, Sachin Pilot, and this question goes to Sachin Pilot, Ravi Shankar Prasad, and our esteemed third panelist, Derek O'Brien. And Derek, this is not sarcastic, this is absolutely straight.
Tell me,
in your view, will the nature of governance have to change between the period of 2012 and 2014? Will this whole approach of confrontation with everything, confrontation on issues, with everything and with everybody on issues, have to be re-evaluated by a Congress party if it has to survive the ride till 2014. Who'd like to take that first? I can throw that to anyone. Maybe Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has already given some advice to the Congress party. Which one of you would like to take that first? Okay, Derek wants to take that first. Yes, go ahead, Derek.
No, Arnav, the only reason I want to take it first is because I have to leave your program in the next 60 seconds. That's why.
Yes.
See, Arnav, that question is a question you need to direct to the Congress party. The Trinamool Congress has always been very clear as to who we are, what we stand for, and what we want to do. So there is between yesterday or day before yesterday and today 9 p.m. it is no different for us. We are absolutely clearly focused on what we have to do to 2016 in Bengal and after that thereafter. Yeah. So there's no difference to us. We have to keep doing what we have to do. That question you can direct to the Congress.
Do you think the Congress is arrogant sometimes? Do you think the Congress is arrogant sometimes? Ravi Shankar Prasad used the word arrogant.
Sometimes.
Do you think sometimes the Congress is arrogant?
See, again, these are words like sympathy, arrogant. Let's talk about issues. When we have a disagreement as a political...
Like the word? I can use a synonym of arrogant if you don't like the word
Congress party,
obstinate, obdurate.
Yes, no, contempt. The word is contempt.
Imperious.
Contempt. We cannot be treated with contempt because we are the largest, second largest party in that alliance after the Congress. So, Trinamool means grassroots. I think if the Congress listens more to the Trinamool, because we have our ears to the grassroots, they'll do much better.
Listen more to the Trinamool. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Listen more to the Trinamool. Brings a smile to everyone's face. You see there, Sachin Pilot. Listen more to the Trinamool. Ravi Shankar Prasad, what do you make of that? When the Trinamool Congress says after the elections, listen more to us, what do you make of it, Ravi Shankar Prasad?
Well, I think what I had stated in a guarded way, Derek has made it very openly. There is a problem of governance, there is also a problem of management of allies and alliances also. Now, I will take this opportunity to make one more point, and that is very important. I am surely giving it by way of an advice. In the wake of today's result, it is very important that Rahul Gandhi must take up direct responsibility in governance. This whole model of one NAC chairman and number 2 leader remaining out of the government may not work very long. And if Rahul Gandhi wants to reinvent himself, I think it is very important, come on Mr. Gandhi, take on direct responsibility in governance. Be accountable in a more direct sense. That I think will be very important. That is what I feel is one of the lessons.
Sachin, pretty straightforward comment there.
And only one last point. Yes, I own up that BJP has not been able to do fairly in the Lok Sabha elections. Maybe there is a lesson for all the national parties to draw. That is the polity of the country changing? And let me be very blunt, Arnav Goswami. The Congress party came with this communal reservation before the model code of conduct came into being, with disastrous consequences in terms of even electoral gains. India is changing. Perhaps those who are the major players need to understand that as national parties we have to respond to this changing polity of India.
Point is taken. Sachin, would you like to respond? Last point. Time for Rahul Gandhi to come forward and take some direct responsibility.
No, I think it's okay on a day when the Congress parties, the results haven't been going our way, for everyone to give advice and criticize, and I accept everything that everyone's been saying. But I think the Congress party is old enough, mature enough, and sensitive enough to understand what we need to do moving forward. I just want to reiterate our commitment to UP and to other parts of this country. As congressmen, we will continue to work, fulfilling the aspirations of the people of this country. We have a responsibility as a UPA government. We will discharge it. And mind you, talking to all of our partners, both within government and outside government, so that you don't get much talk about next time we do the show on about putting TMC versus Congress or one of our allies. We'll continue to engage with them, and all important decisions we do and we will be taking along with consultations with our allies.
Yes, and Sachin, neither do I write fiction or do I write poetry. And on a lighter note, at the very end, nowadays even that privilege is reserved for politicians more than journalists. As you very well know,
you give us too much credit.
You haven't started writing poetry yet, but Yes, Sachin Pilot, Ravi Shankar Prasad. Thank you very much for joining us for that fantastic Newshour special edition debate here on Times Now.